The channel, guys. This is episode number 1, gaming news. Going to some topics today. First off is the GameStop ring of terror and how it's nearly over. Activision, they recently split from having control of Bungie and the Destiny's franchise. How Red Dead Redemption 2 nearly somewhat boosts the industry, and the Epic Store bullshit and stuff about that. Let's get into the first topic and let's get it going. First topic is GameStop has been reportedly trying to sell itself for the past year or so. I think it started in July. Tried to sell off assets like Spring Mobile or whatever, not Sprint but Spring Mobile. There was their cell phone subsidy, whatever. They sold that off for a good chunk of change, but that still didn't help the company and their financial woes. If you've been to GameStop, you can pretty much see that the writing's on the wall. Slow sales, slow attendance of people just coming in the store, buying stuff. They're putting more stuff that doesn't have to do with gaming into the stores, like clothing, phones, stuff like that, where they wasn't used to be that stuff. They reportedly tried to sell itself for a high cost to a investment firm or whatever, takeover firm, and I guess GameStop still think they're the top dollar, so they try to go for that. And the company didn't want to buy it, so GameStop is reportedly just stagnant right now. Nobody wants to touch it. Nobody wants to buy it. And eventually it's going to die out. And once it die out, that's the end of GameStop. For me, I grew up with two game stores, video game stores. That doesn't include rental because those are different on their own. But I grew up with Funkoland when I was living in Chicago, and I grew up with EB Games, which used to be, it was a highly recommendable place. Everybody respected the place. Everybody loved to shop in there, loved the employees. It was a great place to go and get games, come back out, you're happy. Everything's good. Then one day, I go to the store to buy some games that I wanted to buy, and I realized the name was changed. And there was no press release. Well, during that time, I didn't have a computer, so I didn't know that GameStop bought it. And after that, it's just been going downhill from there. Physical media, not all, but just in gaming, it's dying out. More people are buying it digitally because people are getting they're getting in the stage of instant gratification. They can just download it at home and don't have to leave up for the store, which is true. But also, some people do it just to get the thrill of just getting out the house and buying a game and talking to other gamers. Be able to socialize instead of just being cooped up in the house and just being a hermit, which is not good for you overall. I do know Best Buy has their own Best Buy gaming plan, club, whatever you want to call it, membership plan. Walmart doesn't have one, which they shouldn't, because at this point, hardly anybody buy the games from Walmart. It's usually other places. Amazon doesn't have one, but they got the Prime. People usually use to get the game, usually next day or two. Target has some games, but people mostly don't go to Target to get games whatsoever. And I think that's about it. It used to be Toys R Us, but they sadly closed. And your limits. Oh, I almost forgot eBay. You can also go on eBay and buy some games. But those are iffy sometimes. Sometimes you get the right games, sometimes you don't. But yeah, GameStop Ring of Terror is slowly ending. Slowly, and once that dies, that's another chapter. Because there's so many other businesses that's been going out of business. Toys R Us, Radio Shack, Kmart is slowly on there. And for a time, Best Buy, but Best Buy slowly and gradually changed, and now they're still going, they're still growing and kicking because they changed a few things and they have a price match, which is good because at the longest time their prices were high and people were going to window shopping, looking at their prices and comparing it to Amazon, just buying off of Amazon. But now they got that price match, so they can price match Amazon or these other online retailers, which they might lose some money, but at the same time, they got a customer right there, and that's a instant or at least like an 80% chance of a transaction going on, and they make money that way. But from one failing greedy company to another, I'm finally happy about this one. Bungie, the original developer who created Halo, has reportedly left Activision last month. They retained the rights to the Destiny franchise, and I have a feeling this is going to be a great year, a great few years for Bungie, because for the longest time there was a laughing stock due to how they handled both Destiny 1 and 2, whereas when they had Halo, they was pretty much from what I can say, untouchable, because the Halo games they made were up there near perfect. Not, it wasn't so perfect that people started worshiping like a religion, but it was perfect enough that there wasn't that many flaws in the games and not many flaws and issues like 343 gamings and their recent Halo titles. But Activision, they're kind of in their own little rut right now because they also have to deal with fair investigations, with insider trading and stuff like that. And they also got to deal with the Blizzard and their backlash, public backlash of the Diablo series. I think Diablo Inferno. I'm not sure if that's what it was called for the cell phone, but they're going through their own thing right now. I'm finally happy seeing Activision and GameStop getting their comeuppance, because for the longest time these two companies were the greedy the pair of the greediest companies I can ever think of outside of EA, which EA is in their own little category right next to Walmart, but that's a different story. Hopefully Bungie can go the route of self-publishing their games. They got a recognized name enough to do their own thing. Cause I know there's a few developers in the world that do that. Well, I think it's Giant Software who creates the farm simulator games. They self-publish their own stuff like that. Fun Pimp, the creators of 7 Days to Die, I believe they're self-published. And it's not hard to do. It's just getting the capital to do certain things in the game. But overall, if there's an issue, if you're self-publishing, you can easily fix it without going through any hassles, paperwork, or gotta pretty much beg the owners or the lead director or whatever, hey, we need to do this. And whereas with self-publishing, you can just do it. So I'm happy for Bungie getting out of this rut, and let's see what comes their way in the future. Going to my third topic, Red Dead Redemption 2. I'm not gonna lie about this game. I think a week after, and it took me about 3 to 4 days to download on my Xbox Slim because my internet was bad. But once I started playing it, I couldn't put the game down. It was so great. At the beginning I didn't like Arthur, but towards the middle I kind of liked him a little bit. I still prefer John because I started playing the game as John much in the second one, and I really liked him better. But seeing him in the third game in the series, right after Red Dead Revolver, Red Dead Redemption, in the third one, he's kind of an asshole because he hasn't raised his son. But at the end, in the second one, he redeems himself no pun intended, and he becomes a great guy in the game. This one, I like it. However, with this one finished, this series finished, there's no way they can come back to this world unless they have plenty of DLC on the side to show the side character, not the side characters, the supporting characters in their backstory, like Sadie, Charles, Jose, all of them. Show them their little history and stuff. Which I wouldn't mind having that like in the DLC. Just add like at least like 3 up to 5 hours more playtime. I can't wait to see that. I haven't played the online yet, but from what I hear, it's still buggy. However, I'm gonna get to how it helped boost the industry. I believe it helped boost the industry because so many games now are so stagnant, so buggy, so pushed out there without being untested, while having like at least a few hours of playthroughs to see if there's any bugs. Not make sure the bugs are gone, stuff like that, and have microtransaction. Whereas Red Dead Redemption 2, that was pushed back at least maybe 1 or 2 times, and when who was it? When not Red Star. Oh, I was about to say that. When Rockstar Games, there we go. When they usually push back a game, maybe 1 or 2 times, delaying it, it usually means they're working on something. They're not gonna just throw it out there like that counterpart at 2K Studios with the NBA games, or EA, Activision, all of them. They usually take the time on these games, and it's just another masterpiece. I wouldn't be surprised if it become a Game of the Year edition, because that's how fluent, how seamlessly Red Dead Redemption 2 looks and feels. I was playing it earlier. After not playing it for like a month or two, got back in the swing of things, and it's kind of fun. I highly recommend getting that game right now or whenever you can. And just play the game through. But like 3 of these 4 topics, they're all negative. Well, except for the Bungie half. But this last one I really do not like. I want to speak on it though. The Epic Games Store is trying to install console mentality on the PC with having the games exclusive, which I can say Steam doesn't have games exclusive. That's the only place where the developers can post their games, because that's the only one there, and GOG. Because then there's no other launchers for these guys to post the games on a more organized platform like Steam. Some of these developers are pretty much highway robbery leaving at the first chance they get and posting the games on the Epic Store, and some of them are not even honoring the customer purchase of their game at the pre-orders and stuff, and just having all the games at the Epic Store, which is over, I think, like $2 billion. But at the same time, they're installing exclusive bullshit, whereas PC is an open market, and people can say this is capitalism, and it's not. PC has always been open platform, always. There's GOG, Uplay, Origin, Battle.net, Steam. Those like right there. Those are all. Some of them run through Steam and then they go to their own launcher, like the Assassin's Creed games. What was it? Not Crackdown. That's a terrible game right there. A few other games, Just Cause, that goes through Steam to get to the Uplay, stuff like that. These games are not exclusive to Steam. Steam is the only place where some of them can post their games and they go to their own launchers, or that's the only place where these small developers can go and have their own community in one area. Some of these developers / publishers do not have their own website, so they use Steam's organized platform for the forums, the threads, the community aspect to figure out, hey, what's wrong with this game? What's wrong with that game? What's wrong with this bugs? What's wrong? There's a crash here. The fans are saying there's something's wrong right here. Let's go look at it. Whereas on the Epic Store, they don't have none of that. So that breeds nothing more than cash grab. Some developers can be on there, post some buggy games, reap the reward from the money, have no refund policy, and gamers be mad because they buy the game, it's crap, they can't get their money back, and the developers just put a half-ass game. Whereas Steam has a refund after the Dark Knight debacle, and they also have the community area, so you can talk to the developers. But some of these developers are more hungry for the money, which I understand, but at the same time, you taint your own reputation by doing things like this. Yes, you get a lot of money from Epic, but at the same time, that money means nothing if nobody's buying it. If your game is not replayable, guess what? Nobody's buying it. Nobody's gonna play it endlessly on Twitch or YouTube or Hitbox. If your game is not polished, if your game is not up to standard, and you just having people buy the game and they can't refund it, you're pretty much scamming people out of money. Then that in turn send them back to Steam because they're not gonna buy any more games on Epic, and Epic gonna do some more shady things to get more people come in. So it is a vicious karma cycle. But hey, man, that's all I got to say on this topic. I'm just tired of some of these games, cause gaming news and stuff like that. But yeah, if you guys want to hear more of what I have to say, follow me on Twitter, both under BlastBoxx TV and under my personal Twitter account, Officialdregs with a 0, not an O. But yeah, guys, again, I'm gonna come out with some more content soon. I'm doing some wrestling stuff too, some other just entertainment news. But remember one thing: stay out of the blast radius. You might get burned.